Now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and it's new release Saturday here on the channel. We're going to take a look at the Netflix original film Me Time, starring Kevin Hart, Mark Wahlberg, Regina Hall, Luis Gerardo Mendez, Jimmy O Yang, John Amos, Anna Maria Horsford, Taj Mowry, and Seal. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And as I said during the introduction, we're going to take a look today on New Release Saturday at the Netflix original film Me Time. And as our movie opens, we meet Sunny and Huck, best friends since high school, who have stopped meeting up every year on Huck's birthday after Sunny suffered a near death experience at Huck's 29th birthday celebration. We fast forward 15 years later, and now Sunny is a stay at home dad who puts all of his focus on his family. Huck contacts him as he does every year for his annual birthday celebration. However, Sunny doesn't want anything to do with it. When his wife Maya and his kids, Dash and Ava, go away for spring break, Sunny finds himself with some me time for the first time in years. After only a few days, Sunny is bored. He plays golf every day, but is terrible, partakes in massive amounts of food at a big barbecue a few days in a row, but projectile vomits, and none of his friends are available to hang out with him. And his kids don't seem to miss him when they call. As a result, Sunny ends up going to Huck's Wild Weekend Birthday Bash after all. When he arrives at the designated meeting point, everyone is skinny dipping, kind of setting the tone for the weekend at hand. Afterwards, they all load into Huck's chartered bus and put on matching tracksuits. Meanwhile, Maya and the kids get a visit at the place that her parents have taken them to from her wealthy client, Armando, who Sunny fears is interested in her. The bus dumps the party group in the middle of the desert where there are communal yards set up, and the plan is to forage for their food. They are given the hardware to do it, so Sunny heads off to do a number two. When a mountain lion attacks him, he is able to ward it off by stabbing it with an EpiPen and ends up being nicknamed the Big Dog by the fellow party attendees. That night, when Sunny calls his family, he finds out that Armando has paid them a visit via seaplane. Maya is offered a huge project by Armando, causing Sunny to get jealous and yell when they hang up on him. When Stan, Huck's loan shark, arrives in the desert seeking the $47,000 that Huck owes to him, his muscle Dorrit breaks Sunny's finger and then burns down the campsite. Once all the partygoers depart, Sunny stays behind in order to help Huck salvage whatever they can. Then Huck confesses to Sunny that he's fallen on hard times and is lonely. On their way back to LA in an Uber, Sunny spots Armando's. So Sunny, Huck, and the Uber driver break into Armando's place and pull off some very gross pranks, but they inadvertently hit one of his tortoises, and all of it is caught on security camera. Sunny offers his house to Huck in order for him to be able to continue his birthday celebration, since his family is still away on spring break. However, someone shares a party notification onto social media, causing the party to turn into a rager. Seal even comes to the party to perform, and Sunny is able to jam with him, and perform one of Seal's big hits, Crazy, along with him. Just as the party reaches its most out of control, Maya and the kids return home. This prompts Maya to leave with the kids and ask Sunny to clear out and stay away for a bit. While they are separated, Sunny attempts to make amends across the board, apologizing to Armando and working hard on the school talent show. As the closing act, Dash has a meltdown, declaring that he hates playing the keyboard, which his father has been pushing him to do. Realizing now that he's been selfish and over controlling, Sunny apologizes to everyone in the audience and encourages all of the kids who had been cut prior to come on stage and perform if they want to. In order to pay off Stan, Sunny chases down Huck and convinces him to join him in starting a party planner company as our movie comes to its end. I had heard very mixed reviews about Me Time, and while I agree with some of them, I'm glad I didn't get put off enough by it to where I didn't want to watch this movie. Because this movie did have heart in the right places. It was very much all over the place, as you can kind of gather from the synopsis I read. There's a lot of jumping around and stuff that sounds nonsensical, but that's what happens in the movie. At its core, it's about two best friends, one who grew up, one didn't. And the one that didn't, there's always something with them that you find out down the movie that has kind of kept them this way. There's always, they feel like it's expected of them to be a certain way, and that's why they never really grew up. And we find out that Huck is lonely, fallen on hard times. He's been fired from his job. Everything that he portrays to social media and portrays to his friends that he's really not anymore. And it's not until that he can admit that to Sunny that he can finally begin growing himself. So that's why when we get to the end of the film and the two are willing to come together on a joint venture and a business that brings them back together after having been driven apart for 15 years, it's a great moment. Like I said, it has heart in the right spots. You've just got to sift through some of the jumble and some of the garbage to find the beauty and the love and the heart within the movie, because it's there. Just got to look for it. I enjoyed seeing Taj Mowry in this film. I grew up watching him on Full House. He was Teddy, one of Michelle's best friends. So seeing him grown up as one of Huck's friends, one of the party goers, I thought was cool. Seal, it was cool seeing him again. Last time I saw Seal was in the movie Pop Star with the Lonely Island guys, Andy Samberg and all of them. So it was cool seeing Seal, who was an icon in the 90s, Crazy, Don't Cry, Kiss from a Rose, etc. Regina Hall was good as always. And I feel like Kevin Hart and Mark Wahlberg's chemistry was starting to scratch the surface, but it never really clicked and began to fire on all cylinders like Kevin Hart and Dwayne Johnson, like Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg do. It was starting to get there, and then the movie ended. If they do something else together, I hope the chemistry thing gets worked out, because there's definitely potential in the two of them as a team together. They've just got to get that fire lit a lot quicker. And I feel this story was designed to build this story up. And by the time we got to the resolve and the end and the climax, when everything's supposed to start firing on all cylinders, it just kind of fell flat because it should have been there a lot sooner. I'm curious to know what you guys think of Me Time. When it comes to my rating of this film, I'm going to give it 2.5 out of 5 stars. Again, it had heart, some of it in the right places, some of it you had to dig for, but it did have heart, and I feel like it could have been a lot better, but it could have been a lot worse. What do you guys think of Me Time? Let me know if you're watching the premiere. Leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. But let's engage in that conversation. Let's have that discussion like I'm always asking for you guys to do with me. Submit your comments. Let's debate it right down here in the comments section. And make sure you guys tune in later on today, right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, as well as across the multiverse of media, as myself, the simple man Noah Foster, and James Hebert all come together for another edition of Open Mic Night. That's right, you can find this on the Casa D18 Studios channel, Simple Man Studios. It might be going across the Jeff Meacham Network, not sure yet. Might be going across Jay Hebert Studios. It's going to be out there on a bunch of different platforms, though. We're going to be discussing a lot of topics, current wrestling, maybe even a couple non-wrestling topics, inspirational quote of the week. Make sure you tune in to the newly revived Open Mic Night later on this evening on the Casa D18 Studios channel and across the multiverse of media. And then tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, it'll be time for another brand new installment of the War Zone. That's right, another edition of the weekly acquisition report. So step on into the War Zone and check out the newest additions to my ever-growing movie library. You're not going to want to miss out on any of that content, both right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, as well as across the multiverse of media. To all my loyal fans and viewers out there, thank you so much for tuning in and joining me today. Make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that notification bell is turned on so you're alerted anytime a video goes up here on the channel or we go live. Make sure you share this video with your family, friends, loved ones, coworkers, movie fanatics, cinephiles, Mark Wahlberg fans, Kevin Hart fans, Taj Mowry fans, Seal fans, anybody you can think of that would enjoy this movie review. Share the video with them. It's the only way we're going to boost up my visibility on the YouTube algorithms, help me get monetized by the end of the year. Thank you once again to everyone who joined me and tuned in today. It means more to me than you'll ever know. And I will see you guys next time.